folks, like I said, on the line now is my second guest of the evening, Chris Andreucci. How you doing, buddy? Are you good?
I'm good, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's my pleasure. Not seen you in a while. I think it was the BCMA Awards last year was last time I got to see yourself and your family. And but you've been a busy lad since then, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of been a full throttle since then. This whole year's been really good, and it's just been exciting to see what can happen in a year. I've been coming in and out of Nashville for a couple of years, but actually getting my visa and been able to be there full time. It's just been really cool to see all the opportunities and the things that have happened. So yeah, I think next year is going to be bigger and better, and I can't wait.
Oh, well, you've got a new single out, Strangers in the Bar. How's that going?
Good, yeah. I was actually planning on putting out music this year. I was kind of focused on writing for other people and kind of trying to extend that part of my career. But yeah, I wrote Strangers in the Bar with my good friend John Haywood and Carver Parton, and I had the idea on my phone for probably over a year, and I was like, a lot of the time you spend in bars, you're speaking to strangers, and quite often as you're meeting someone and becoming friends, you're a couple of stools down at the other end of the bar. There's maybe two people becoming strangers, after a relationship breaking up or a friendship, and we kind of sat and thought about that, and that's kind of where the idea came from. And you're like, a bar is kind of an unusual thing. Yeah, we wrote it, and it's been going good. I think we're just about over 10,000 streams on Spotify, and whatever else. But yeah, it's been really cool. I got to get my first billboard in Nashville, and yeah, it was very exciting.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and it's lovely to see. Like I said, not a native to Nashville, obviously, with that accent. You're obviously from Scotland, and but you're coming over, aren't you? You're doing a couple of shows over here.
Yeah, so I actually leave for Vegas on Thursday. I'm there for 10 days. I've got a 10-day residency at the MGM Grand.
What?
And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I fly back to Nashville for about 5 days, and then I head home to Scotland on the 21st of December. So yeah, we're playing. I play King Tut's on December 28th in Glasgow, and I'm really excited for that one. We have Gary Quinn, one of my favorite UK artists. He's going to be joining us, and Sean C. Kennedy, who's another Scottish guy that I kind of owe a lot to out here. He'd done the Nashville move a few years before me. And being he's only like from 20 minutes away from my hometown in Scotland. So he kind of took me under his wing and helped me through the journey and the process. And yeah, so I think it was when I told him that I was coming back to Scotland, and he said, "Oh, I'm back for Christmas too." I said it was quite a nice thing to kind of pay back and get him on the bill too. So yeah, that's on December 28th. There's some tickets left, but it's selling pretty quick. So it's looking like it's going to sell out. So if you're around, or if anyone listening is coming up to Glasgow or in and around the area, it's going to be a great night. 3 really cool country artists and 2 of my favorites are joining me. So it's going to be a really good time.
I've got Gary on at an event I run here in Merseyside. It's his 4th event that I'm running. I've got him and Ethan Allen on, and already tables are booking up left, right, and centre, because we have struggled on attendances because it's something new, but it's like trying to promote singer-songwriters from the British Country Music Association side of things. And excuse me, and that's what we're trying to do. And next year we'll be putting an horizon artist on with a mainstream artist going forward. So it's giving them cutting the teeth and finding the way like everybody needs, really. Excuse me, but yeah, I've got Gary on there, a good friend of mine, Gary, and I just texted him this afternoon. I went, I've only just been notified it's actually the World Cup final on the 18th that we're having this afternoon. I went, oh no. And again, if England are in the final, which I doubt it, but even if they're not, it's going to be. And then I said, right, you're coming off stage at 2:30, dude. And I said, and we're going to get a big screen and the football's on. He said, that'll work for me.
Priorities.
Absolutely. But it's great to see that. I mean, I can't believe this, the MGM residency. So tell us a bit more about this.
Yeah, so I play in Nashville for a company called Cold Beer Entertainment. So essentially, I work for Cold Beer as a kind of joke. But yeah, they own a bunch of different restaurants, bars, venues. So I've got a residency here in Nashville playing at Losers Bar and Grill, Losers in Midtown, which is a very well-respected venue. It's been here for over 25 years or something. So I play there 4 nights a week, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But they also have locations all over the US, and Belize as well, I actually believe. But yeah, they were like, if you want to come out to Vegas and play at the MGM Grand, there's a big the whole event is 10 days. It's NFR, it's called the National Finals Rodeo. So it's
I know.
like the
Is that still going ahead? Because I got told it had finished.
yeah, so it's going ahead this year. It starts on Thursday. So we fly in on Thursday and we play our first show at 8 p.m. In the MGM Grand on Thursday night. So it's going to be really cool. I'm excited. I've been to Vegas once before, but I was also like 17. I couldn't drink or gamble, and I was there for a couple of days, and I said I think that was enough. But 10 days, let's go and see what happens.
What goes on there stays there, I believe. But I think it must be its last year then, the rodeo then, because I know it was something that one of the guys at the gang that I socialized with was on about. That's what we wanted to do and go, I think, for a big birthday, and I think it's for next year. And he said, no, it's not on next year, I don't think. So we're now planning Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about the about next year. But I'll certainly try and find out for you and let you know. But yeah, if you're in that, if you're in or around Nashville coming in next year, let me know and we'll catch up for a couple of beers.
Absolutely. Well, you know Wayne Hadlow, he's the president of the BCMA. It's him and I, and he has his own trade shop. So we're trying to link in a trade for somewhere like Denver and then come in like a 2 cent, I think. But then when Garth said he's on at Vegas, I actually made an inquiry. I joined as a validated fan or something, a Ticketmaster. It popped up last week and said, oh, yeah, you've got 2 tickets if you want. So, oh, cool. £1,000 each. And I went, you're all right with that, dude. I'm all right. I saw him in Ireland. That'll do. You know, saw him in Ireland in September. So I said,
Yeah,
that's more than the flight and the airport.
I know, that's crazy. Yeah, I saw he was doing the Vegas run. I actually got to see him here in Nashville earlier on this year. He did at the Nissan Stadium, at the Titan Stadium. He did a couple of nights, and my dad was actually visiting. He was in town, and it was his birthday. And I planned a couple of things, and 2 of them went wrong. And so we found ourselves on Broadway on like a Saturday afternoon, and I felt bad because it was his birthday and I'd only got him a couple of things, and I was paying for his beers, and I was like, this is a bit of not the best gift for your son from your son. So I was in the toilet at Tootsie's, and overheard this guy next to me talking to his friend. He was like, yeah, man, I just got 2 tickets for Garth Brooks for like $50 a piece. And I looked at him and I was like, are they still is it not sold out? He says, no, there's good seats available. So I went in and quickly bought them and took my dad along to see Garth. So it was amazing.
Shortly, isn't it? His bar's opening very soon.
His bar, yeah, it's coming together. It looks pretty good. I think they said early next year.
So I think we'll have to pay that a visit as well. But no, we'll look you up, mate, because you can be our guide.
Yeah, I love to show people around here and have a good time with them.
But I missed you at the awards this year. Obviously, it wasn't at Chelsea, which was very plush. It was over at the Cavern in Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and it was really good how they put it all together at last minute type of thing, you know, and the iconic sort of Cavern. And it was really, really, really good, and loads of people enjoyed it, and loads of awards given out again. But no, it's been one of those crazy years for you, though, hasn't it? I mean, it's like, say, full on. So what's round the corner for 2023 then? I know, like you're saying, you're doing a lot of co-writes, and that is that really designed to keep a regular paycheck coming in, or is it just the accolades or networking or all the above?
It's a kind of combination of all the above. My end goal is to be I like to perform. I like to release music myself. But I think it's a young man's game. I'll be honest. In my head, I mean, I've doing what I've done in the year. I've been playing 5 shows a week for this whole year. Sometimes doubling up and doing like 8 hours in one day of singing and playing music. And it's great fun. but I think eventually I've only got that for another period in my life, and then eventually I want to be full-time songwriter. So yeah, I've after the whole year coming to the end, I was like, I ticked off a lot of the things that I wanted to do, and it got to the end. I was thinking, you know, I've not really had anyone release the songs, all these co-writes that I'm doing. And I was kind of trying not to give myself a hard time, but I'm my biggest critic, and that's my drawback. But then I was on vacation in Spain with my parents, and I got an email through that I had my first major label cut. So Sony Music took a dance song that actually I wrote lyrics for a dance song, and it got released through Sony Music Germany. So that was a great thing. I signed the contract and off it went, and it got released. And you know, as soon as that happened, I think there's another 5 coming out before the end of January or February next year that I've written. And it's just funny how things like that happen. You know, I was not down about it, but I was like, you know, that's the only thing I kind of, in my first year, I'd have liked to have at least had one. And so for me, yeah, in the new year, there's going to be, I think there's another 4 or 5 coming out that I've written that I'm excited for. I'm going to be putting out my own song. It's been on hold with a couple of artists in town. And then it's like, you know, the Nashville story goes, you know, it's so close and then there's no cigar at the end of it. But I love this song. I think it's going to be a song called To the Moon and Back. And it's a love song about how sometimes, you know, people come and go in life. And it's, you know, it was a period of my life that I had to come back and forward from Nashville, and I met my girlfriend, and we were trying to figure it out. And, you know, I wrote it from the sense that she leaves. Every time I leave, I feel like she's going to the moon, but like, because she's so far away. But, you know, I love her whether she's there or not, you know, and I love her on the way to the moon, on the way to the back. And I know she's always coming back. And it ended up a bit of a love song. And I wrote it with Kylie Hughes, who's a really, really talented songwriter. So I think that's going to be the early new single. And then, yeah, there's some festivals in the works for next year. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think for a lot of people, I think with COVID really kind of disappearing now. I mean, I know it's still around, but
yeah,
you know,
it's still around, but people are getting over it. Really, it's like flu, really now.
Yeah. So I think everyone's kind of starting to get back into their stride. So I'm excited to see what happens for me, but also what happens for everyone else in the industry. And I think there's going to be some cool opportunities that, you know, just appear. And that's the kind of magic of the music industry for me.
And you can tell with the smile on your face, you're enjoying life there, man. And congratulations. It's obviously we discussed now over what, about 18 months now, maybe. We got to know each other and met you in person, as I said, last November. And it's great to see that great British talent is actually, you know, putting the flag down and doing what they do, but doing it in their terms, you know, on your terms rather than somebody else's, you know. And fair play to you. And at some point next year, hopefully you get in, whether it's over there or whether you're over here, we'll hook up and we'll have a few root beers or
Sounds good, Paul.
We'll be playing the single in a little minute. But Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to my friend, and I wish you all the best. Especially don't do any rodeos, mate, because you know your agents will be going, well, get off that horse, you know. I said, well, I've watched 2 seasons of Yellowstone, I know what's going on.
I know. Chris Dutton.
But no, mate, listen, all the very best, and you deserve everything that's coming your way.
Thanks very much, Paul. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Mate.
Came in here for a couple of beers in a little bit of lonesome town. You were sitting there, I was trying not to stare, but I couldn't get you off my mind. Had me pushing through the crowd, funny looking back now. Ain't it crazy all the things you can find? 2 strangers in a bar, 2 bourbon broken hearts, throwing pennies in a whiskey well, sipping on something bottom shelf. That was Fridays on the town, and girl, I spin you round, dead into a brand new start. Who'd known we'd come so far? 2 strangers in a bar. lights never did me right, but you put me onto something new. We were breaking the ice, had a couple of fights, but I never thought you'd have me fooled. Oh, it was good for a while and we put up some miles. Yeah, we gave it everything we got. Gave it everything we got. Two strangers in a bar, two bourbon broken hearts, throwing pennies in a whiskey well, sipping on something bottom shelf. That was Fridays on the town, and girl, I spin you round, head into a brand new start. Who'd known we come so far? Two strangers in a bar. I thought that I could keep the buzz alive, but you're not here by my side. Going home alone tonight. Two strangers in a bar, one bourbon broken heart. Yeah, girl, I wish you well. Hope you find that someone